national security on the importance of staying informed and prepared. The government and the Emergency Measures Organization are fully engaged, working around the clock, guided by the Bermuda Weather Service to ensure you have the latest and most accurate information. I encourage everyone to stay tuned to the official government channels only to stay updated. I thank all the emergency agencies, public officers, and first responders who have been and will continue to work around the clock and throughout this weekend. To quote former Premier Alex Scott, Bermuda works best when we work together. And this time will be no different. So let us please be sure to check on your neighbors, particularly the elderly and those most vulnerable. To all of Bermuda, stay safe and continue to follow the guidance provided by our experts, the official channels, and please give your full support and cooperation to our emergency services. I will now pass the podium over to Director Pitcher from the Bermuda Weather Service for an update.
Thank you, Premier, Minister. Good afternoon, Bermuda. As you may or may not be aware, the Bermuda Weather Service has been working closely this week with the U.S. National Hurricane Center, as they are the experts on tropical cyclones. As we've seen, the path of Hurricane Ernesto has been coming toward our area for several days now, and the latest information is that we can expect Hurricane Ernesto to pass us as a weak Category 2 hurricane Saturday around midday, that would be noon, about 31 nautical miles to our west. Now, ahead of this arrival, we can expect tropical storm force winds to arrive Friday evening, roughly around 6 to 7 p.m. But of course, weather is never precise, so please allow us an hour or two for those winds. We're going to expect the 50-knot winds to arrive probably around closer to 2 a.m. on Saturday, and then the hurricane force winds will be arriving just after dawn on Saturday around 8 or 9 a.m. We're going to be under Category 1 hurricane force winds up to 70 knots sustained for most of the daylight hours on Saturday. However, the latest model information does have those hurricane force winds decreasing around 5, maybe 6 p.m. Saturday evening. Those stronger winds are going to continue, though, through Saturday night. And right now we're anticipating just before dawn, we shall see the ending of the tropical storm force winds. However, we do need to be mindful that this forecast can continue to evolve. And one thing that we do need to note from the National Hurricane Center is that these tropical storm force winds might be prolonged into a few hours into Sunday morning. So please be safe and stay updated with all of the latest information on our website. We're also adding additional information on our Facebook page as well. Our website is www.weather.bm. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to the Premier, Ms. Michelle Pitcher, the Director of Bermuda Weather Service, Mr. Lyndon Rader, the Director of the Durham team, and fellow members of our community. Yesterday, I addressed the community and emphasized the importance of making all necessary preparations for the arrival of the serious storm. Today, following the latest meeting of the Emergency Measures Organization, or the EMO executive, I would like to outline the key decisions and actions we have taken to ensure the safety and well-being of everyone on our island. First and foremost, I cannot stress enough the importance of completing your hurricane preparations immediately. For those who have not yet done so, I urge you to act now. Time is running out. Here are the key decisions from today's meeting. The causeway. The causeway will be closed at 10 p.m. on Friday and all day on Saturday. The Ministry of Public Works will assess the structure on Sunday, and we will look to reopen it once it is deemed safe to do so. I strongly urge everyone to be off our roads by 7 p.m. on Friday to ensure your safety. In addition, the section of South Road in Smiths Parish between Watch Hill Park and Johnson Bay will be closed on Friday at 10 a.m. We ask for your cooperation in avoiding these areas and staying off the roads during the storm. Public transportation. Public transportation will also be affected. Bus services for all routes will be suspended from 8 p.m. on Friday. with the last bus running at 7 p.m. There will be no bus services on Saturday. There will be no bus services on Saturday. Additionally, there will be no ferry services on Friday, with the last ferry departing at 4 p.m. today. Updates on the resumption of ferry services will be provided when weather conditions allow. Government offices will close at 4 p.m. on Friday, with the last customer being served at 3 p.m. I encourage everyone to complete any necessary business with government offices before that time. For those in need of shelter, the emergency shelter at Cedar Bridge Academy will open from 6 p.m. on Friday and will remain open until conditions allow for safe closure. We particularly encourage the vulnerable, including seniors and those without adequate shelter, to make use of this facility. The Liam Fogo Urgent Care Center in St. David's will be operational from 8 p.m. on Friday and will close once the causeway is reopened. Ambulance services across the island will continue to operate as normal throughout the storm. The Royal Bermuda Regiment will be embodied on Friday evening to provide support and manpower as needed during the storm. They are ready to assist in ensuring the safety and security of our community and to help in returning Bermuda to normalcy after the storm has passed. The emergency radio station at 100.1 FM will begin broadcasting regular announcements from 8 p.m. on Friday evening. I urge everyone to tune in for official updates and information as the situation develops. Finally, regarding air travel, the ILFB International Airport will close at 8 p.m. on Friday. Passengers should check with their respective airlines for the status of their flights. We understand that Air Canada has already canceled its flight to the island tomorrow, while American Airlines will operate a flight between Charlotte and Bermuda on Friday, considering the airport closure on Saturday. I strongly advise against swimming in the ocean due to the increasingly dangerous seas. As a precaution, lifeguard services at Horseshoe Bay Beach will be suspended from 6 p.m. today until further notice. Red high surf warning signs will be erected on beaches across the island this evening. Please adhere to these warnings and avoid all unnecessary risk. With regard to trash collection, please place your trash out for collection as usual on Friday morning. However, if your trash is not collected by 5 p.m. on Friday, please bring it back inside and place it out again on Monday morning. For any additional trash before the hurricane, you may take it to the public drop-off at Tynes Bay tomorrow between 7 a.m. and 7 p.m. Tynes Bay will be closed all day on Saturday. The EMO will reconvene on Friday morning to receive further updates and reassess the situation. We will continue monitoring the storm closely, and we shall provide further updates as they become available. I want to remind everyone that we are in this together. The actions we take now will help protect our island and our community. Please remain vigilant, stay informed, and above all, stay safe. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Minister. Thank you very much, Premier. That brings us to the Q&A portion of our press briefing, and we will start with Bermuda Govt. Jasmine.
Hi, good afternoon. Thank you for that update. I guess just a question about the hospital. Are there any specific precautions that will be taken there?
At this point in time, no specific precautions. I think the hospital would be operating as normal.
And I guess this is more of a weather-related question. In terms of flooding and high tide, are there any specific risks that we can experience?
Well, already some low-lying areas are flooded because, as we are well aware, all of the rain that we've lacked has seemed to have been falling this past week. It looks like we have a conservative 5 to 10 additional inches of precipitation expected. Ernesto is going to be a wet storm. So that's something we need to consider. However, a silver lining is that low tide is around 1 p.m. on Saturday afternoon, and that's near the closest point of approach. So that should help mitigate any storm surge that we should see.
I guess when it comes to hurricanes, the slower moving ones tend to do the most damage. I guess how would you put Ernesto in terms of speed and how it's going to move?
It's moving about average. It's got a larger wind field because it is a rather large hurricane in size. Hurricanes can be different intensities and different sizes, just like people. The prolonged tropical storm force winds could cause additional damage, and it's also going to be uncomfortable for Bermudians because everybody's going to be hearing the wind for a very long amount of time. So we do need to be careful for that. As far as any extra damage, it's hard to say.
And I guess you advise people to stay indoors during that time.
I can only tell people what the weather's going to be. It's up to people to decide their personal safety. I will be indoors. I will be sleeping at the weather office. So that's all I can say.
That's it for you, Jessica? Yeah. Siku, did you have any questions for the premier on this?
Yes, good afternoon, everybody. So I understand that many sporting events that were planned over the weekend have not officially been postponed yet. Minister Weeks, do you have any advice on what those who are holding these sporting events should do?
The only advice I could give is to be safe and be mindful that this storm is coming and it's a real and credible threat. So if the sporting events have not yet been canceled, I assume that they will be suspended at least by tomorrow. Thank you.
That's it, Siku? No other questions? Okay, very good. Premier, do you have any closing words for the community as we wind down today's presentation?
Nothing outside of thanks to the minister and his team for the excellent work which they've done, reminding persons to stay tuned to the official channels, including the government WhatsApp channel. Thank you to Director Pitcher for her work and to the EMO led by Mr. Lyndon Rayner. What I will say is everyone, please remember to stay safe, check on the vulnerable, and the minister and the EMO will certainly update persons after tomorrow's meeting. Thank you.